Want to come clean on this whole Long Island psychic thing that's going on with you?
Absolutely.
Everyone tells me you're out of fucking control. We have a writing meeting, and everyone pitches stuff for the, for the show. Everyone go. Sal's been on a mad tear to get this Long Island psychic on the show, but like in a bizarre way. Like even if he's pitching something else, it all comes back to like the Long Island psychic.
Right. So you're wondering why?
You know why? So... Primarily, everything. Like I grew up on Howard.
Do you know them?
I've met him. Yes, they're in my neighborhood.
I thought the Long Island psychic is a woman.
She is. I met her husband, and husband's a huge fan of yours.
In the pudding,
as well. But everything that
you know how I feel about psychics, right?
That's why. I think this is the one time that I can do something where I can really change your mind. I really sincerely believe that.
You idiot. You're an imbecile. You know that.
I sincerely believe that this lady is that fascinating. Howard, I went to Westbury Music Fair. 3,000 people.
Right.
I mean, she would just call out people. I mean, a lady way in the back.
And what did she say that blew your mind?
Like, motorcycle accident. Yes, right on the money. What's so funny about that?
If I said someone in 3,000 people, someone had a motorcycle accident, do you think someone in the auditorium had a motorcycle accident?
I mean, the odds are there, but for her to specifically pick out the person, and Howard, I think that this lady really could change your mind. I think she could bring some. I think she would blow everyone away. I mean, she's been on Ellen,
but I don't care.
She's been on Oprah.
Why? I've already told you no about the Long Island psychic, and you won't let go of it. Like, there's something. Are you having an affair with the Long Island psychic?
It's beautiful.
You know, Howard, I've never talked about this, but I've always been fascinated with mediums. Even when I was a child, I used to.
So you're not in love with her?
No, I used to read George Anderson's books. George Anderson was the first one. He used to be on Channel 6, and
predict what I'm thinking right now. Same with Tebow.
I'm an idiot.
No. Go ahead. You can do it.
What you're thinking?
What am I thinking right now? Tebow's wonderful. I'm thinking you should get the fuck out of the studio.
Okay.
I thought you would know that.
Howard,
what?
I just got to ask, because this is the big question on everybody's mind. Are you in any way, shape, or form, Sal, getting anything from them, whether it be monetary or anything else, from the Long Island Psychic?
I swear on my children and on a stack of Bibles. I think this lady's... I watch this lady religiously on Sunday nights.
What did she tell you? Did she tell you something about yourself?
No, as a matter of fact, she's very apprehensive about coming in. She told me nothing. I never asked...
She should be.
I never asked for a reading. Nothing of the sort. I think that Howard...
You want to keep that whole...
If she's for real, why is she apprehensive?
Well, because, Howard could, Howard hits the hard hit. Howard asked the...
Power?
No, he asked the hard-hitting questions. He's a tough interview.
My powers will take on her powers, and my powers will win. That's what's going to happen, Sal.
Howard, can I just tell you something? The whole thing about him going to see her at Westbury Music Fair, we sat him down in a meeting and sort of explained how it works, if you know what I mean. And he goes, oh, I understand. He seemed to be off the psychic, but now he's right back on it again.
I'm skeptical.
Once you explain something to him, he forgets 2 minutes later. That's why he doesn't remember anything from school.
Like a dog.
Like a dog.
Yeah, like seriously. He learned United States history, but he can't remember any of it.
There was no need to retain it.
Yeah, well, you're not retaining this. The Long Island psychic is not a psychic. I retain that.
I will do what if I'm wrong, I'll do whatever you want.
Every psychic is fake.
If you're wrong, what
I'll
You'll blow Richard if you're wrong.
I won't do that.
Yes, you would.
No. He said whatever he wanted.
I don't know, but I'd be willing to do something crazy. I don't know what it is, but I'm telling you, Howard, that this lady's absolutely fascinating.
So what, you're going to come in and tell me about myself? I mean, you could look that shit up.
Yes, you could.
No, I'll tell you what. I'll pick a homeless fucking guy from the street. Let me hear the Long Island psychic just tell me the guy's name, and then I'll say she's psychic.
Okay.
You shouldn't have to tell me anything about his future. Just tell me his name.
Well,
and if she can do that, oh, that's right. She doesn't get that.
Well, no, she talks to the dead, Howard. She'll talk to So
let a dead guy tell her this guy's name.
Well, the dead can't even tell her who they are.
Right.
Absolutely, they can. No,
No. I've watched this woman on TV. She'll go, who was the one who died suddenly? And then the person tells her who it is.
Right, of course.
No, it doesn't work.
Benji was a phone psychic, enough said. Okay. He was. He made a lot of money doing it.
Really?
Yeah, you never
heard
that story?
No, I never
knew
think
so. All right. What is it, Gary? What the fuck is with sound, this psychic thing?
Howard, I think she's a fascinating person.
Will spoke to her, because we were thinking about having her on at one point. The first thing is, we can't just bring people in. You know what I'm saying?
For her to read, you mean?
Yeah, we can't bring people in for her to read.
There's rules.
Well, yeah, because you know what? You pick up different vibes from different people, and she absolutely needed 45 minutes alone, completely alone, no cameras. With the people.
With the people.
Yeah.
What do you make of that, Sal?
That's interesting.
This is where we left him 2 months ago.
Right.
We told him this, and he goes, wow.
We're not interested in leaving people alone with the Long Island Psychic for 45 minutes.
I'm with you on that. And
when I cold read.
I would love, I mean, look.
Sal, look at me. You
cold read, I agree.
You worship me.
Cold read, I'm on your page.
You worship me.
I'm on the same page.
If you would just listen to me about everything, your life would go a lot smoother.
And I listen to you about 99% of the time.
Give your brain over to me. Your brain's not working well.
Why would you listen 99% of the time?
Because I think I could...
What's the 1% on your own that you think you're doing well? Right?
That's a great question.
1% is the shitty area that you get into.
That 1% is destroying your life.
When you listen to your boss, everything's fine.
It really is.
Yeah.
But Howard, I think she's a fascinating guest.
All right. Sal, look at me. She's never coming in here. We're not interested in putting her in a room for 45 minutes with people.
Right.
It's never going to happen, and you should give up on it.
And I will. But if she's listening and she would be willing to omit that 45-minute pre-interview, could she possibly come in? If she's willing to omit that. Omit it. Omit it.
Omit.
O-M-I-T.
Omit.
Omit.
I'm admitting bullshit.
But here's a point. Here's a point,
M-O-U-S-E.
Okay, so you've told him that she's not coming on the show.
Right.
That will not deter him in any way from on a personal level. Because, he tweeted about her the other day. He tweeted. It was so weird. It was like, hey, Long Island Psychic, great job on Ellen.
Yeah, I watched her.
So why are you tweeting it? It's like, why are you promoting her so much?
I really sincerely enjoy her. The same way you would promote something from Rolling Stone, for example. I don't tweet much. I don't have many interests. I have the Long Island Medium. Yeah, I mean...
Holy mackerel.
You got to see me. I mean, I was embarrassed at Westbury. I had like a box of tissues on my lap.
You were crying?
Yeah, I had to wrap tissues around my fingers because I was so embarrassed. So I would make these finger cots and just dab my eyes constantly.
Because you were crying with the Long Island Psychic?
I was crying, yeah.
What did she say that made you cry?
This stuff she said, how would just blow you away. I mean, there's a lady in the front row, and she said, your son passed away, and you just put a card on his tombstone, and the lady almost passed out, and I just lost it. I'm like, wow, this is pretty...
I always wondered who bought that stuff, and now I know.
Now you know. Sal.
By the way, in the writing meeting the other day, he also told us that the song Cats in the Cradle makes him cry. So he cries a lot.
Cats in the Cradle?
Well, having 3 kids and, playing ball, and you don't have time for your children. And
that's a different... Isn't it, I'm gonna be like you, Dad? That's the one you cry.
In other words, that's the one, Cats in the Cradle. But
is that Cats in the Cradle?
Yeah, but you're a good father, so why are you crying?
I'm a good father because the way I grew up, I mean... I don't get along well with my dad, and I don't want my children out of it.
I don't blame your dad. Who can fucking tolerate you?
Thank you.
Honestly.
I don't
your dad decided to have a kid. He didn't know it was going to be you. He was hoping for something.
He had a lot more than me. They're all over the country. My uncle got...
Are they all fans of the Long Island Psychic?
I don't know. But maybe I want the psychic here to find out if I have other siblings out there,
Right. Do you think you do?
Yeah, I do. I met one of my siblings in a casket. One of them died. My dad got a call one day at the pizza place, and he fainted. I thought my mother died. It was my half-brother that I never knew about.
All right. Okay.
Whatever.
Does he have relationships with these people, these other children?
Who knows?
Well, they're his buddy or his uncle or some shit.
He barely has one with Sal.
Matt, you're on the... Yeah, but Sal, he claims when he doesn't have a relationship.
Hey now, Howard.
Yeah.
Sal.
Yes.
You're an imbecile. Anyone over the age of 10 knows psychics aren't real.
You know what we ought to do? Houdini proved it years ago.
Yes.
I told you about that.
Yeah, with the whole...
He had a secret word he gave his wife.
Yeah.
So she'd go from psychic to medium to medium. She'd sit there and say, okay. She goes, I'm talking to your husband right now. And then say, okay, what's the password? And they go, what? The password that my husband gave me. Right. He said he wanted to prove whether or not they were psychics. They go, well, he's not talking about that.
Right. Somehow he doesn't want to talk about it.
He didn't want to talk about that. But, you see, a puff of smoke will appear, and that's your husband.
Hey, there are frauds in every vicinity, in every form. There are frauds, but there are also, I think this lady is the only one, because I've heard you say this your whole life, that they are frauds, that they're charlatans. These
Why are you thinking again?
I don't know.
See, when he thinks...
And that 1% overrides the 99%. That's what I'm telling you.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm telling you that it's higher than 1% when he thinks for himself.
I'm trying to think, but nothing happens.
Well, I'm not good at math. You're probably right.
All right, now all right, goodbye.